What's going on, everybody? CW Entertainment here, and we are at it once again here with another Chicago Bears podcast. And unfortunately, today, you guys, man, wound up walking out of here with a loss at home in Mitchell Trubisky's debut game. It was an unfortunate event. Wound up losing 17-20, and the offense pretty much let Trubisky down here in this one. He definitely had a solid game out there. He had some, rookie mistakes. We expected that. But man, just no offense to help him out whatsoever. We had a solid rushing attack going for a good little while there, and then Minnesota just, they said, we're going to make Trubisky beat us with these lackluster receivers that are pretty much just special teamers. And we couldn't do anything about it, man. I mean, all we could do was pretty much just try to run the ball. Hopefully we were opened up, the gaps, and it did not work for us. It wound up costing us that game, man. It wound up costing us the game. Weren't able to find a way to get the ball to really anybody outside of maybe pretty much Zach Miller. I mean, he was one of the bigger receiving threats that we had going for us throughout the game. Now, we did have some plays that were called back. Definitely some plays that were very, very iffy. Definitely thought the refs was definitely on that Minnesota Vikings side, man. I don't care what anybody says. Them refs had it out for the Bears in this one for some reason. Now, John Gruden and them, they did say at the beginning of the game that, this is definitely a group that throws, a lot of flags, man. And you always hate to see that or hear that because it really takes away what's going to be like it takes away from the game, pretty much. So, I mean, they had a big play. It was, I don't know if it was second down. I believe like a second down and 6. Trubisky throws his beautiful pass all the way down the field to Trey McBride. It gets caught all the way back. It was like a 25-yard reception. Trey McBride made a great play, got the feet in bounds, had possession. He gets called back for holding on Cody Whitehair. Wasn't 100% sure if that was holding or not. I mean, it is what it is, so, But, wound up getting called back. I don't know if it was the same drive or not, or if it was the next drive, but anyway, Jordan Howard, he cuts it upfield. I mean, he's got a lane right down that sideline, and he takes it off for a huge gain. I don't know if it's about 30, maybe 40 yards. It was a big run. Regardless, wound up giving us a touchdown, wound up giving us the lead, and it comes back for another bad holding call that they called on Marcus Wheaton. Wheaton was literally driving his guy, and they wound up calling a holding call on that. So it was another just unfortunate event. But I definitely felt the refs, they really had it out for the Bears in that, especially the first half, until, it got to later. But that first half, I believe they called like 6 penalties on the Bears before they even threw a flag on Minnesota. But anyway, just as the game once again got along, it definitely got interesting defense play. I give hats off to the defense for the majority of that game. Until we had injuries. Once again, the injury bug has hit. John Timu, man, he came in this week. He's going to be the starting linebacker today. Well, yesterday's game. He was going to be starting, and you knew exactly he was ready for the game. And then he goes down, man. And I didn't know what in the world happened. I'm pretty sure I could hear him yelling. I mean, the way he was reacting, it seemed like he may have broke his leg, ankle, tore his ACL or something, the way he was reacting. Fortunately, we got news today that John Timu's injury was nowhere near as serious as we thought it was going to be. It is a high ankle sprain. He will be out for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So we won't have him. So mainly, it's just going to be Danny Trevathan. We're going to get him back. That's going to be huge to have us back, or to have him back. And then we're going to have Christian Jones. I feel like Christian Jones did a solid job and made a great play. It looked like he was going to come down with a one-handed interception on Bradford. He just missed reeling that sucker back in and wound up tipping off his hands. And he just missed it. And then it's going to be Jonathan Anderson. I don't know how much faith they have in Jonathan Anderson being able to play in that inside. But Christian Jones, Danny Trevathan, you guys going to have to play the full, 60 minutes out in this sucker. Hopefully the offense can give you guys enough rest. Have some decent, solid drives, man. If you don't score on every drive, man, just keep the ball a little bit longer than what you guys were doing initially. But we're gonna go ahead and skip on down a little bit further. Definitely one of the biggest plays of the game was the Pat O'Donnell touchdown pass to Benny Cunningham. Now, can't nobody say that they called that play right there. There is no way in the world anybody called that fake pass to Benny Cunningham for what would have been, I don't know if they went and tied it. I believe they kicked the extra point after that to make it a 9-7 game. Anyway, there's no way anybody called that, and they wound up getting that. And Benny Cunningham, I mean, he bounced off a big hit too. I mean, he got popped. I don't know if that was a D end or whoever he was. He took a big shot, wound up bouncing off him, got his butt to the end zone. And wound up, I mean, that was probably I'll say that's probably the second best play that happened in that game. I mean, there was definitely some nice plays that happened that came in that second half. And the most exciting play came actually after Mitchell Trubisky's first career touchdown pass. And it was a tip ball that actually went to Zach Miller. Miller was able to hang on to it. It's definitely a risky throw. Lucky Sendejo was able to tip that sucker back, and we actually had a man that was there for a tip pass. 95% of the time, we have nobody that's near for a tip pass. When another team winds up tipping it, either they're on offense, we don't have a guy on defense. If we tip the ball or they tip the ball, they got a million guys around it. We never have a guy. So I was finally glad to see it go our way. But anyway, the most exciting play of the game was the 2-point conversion to tie the game up at 17-17 after Trubisky's touchdown pass to Miller. And it was they handed it off to Jordan Howard. Howard went left. Zach Miller comes back. Howard flipped. I don't know if he flipped it or he handed it back to Miller. And then Miller tosses it to Trubisky. Nobody accounted for Trubisky on the play. And he walks into that end zone. He may have been good for another 50 or 60 yards on that one. Absolutely a great play, dialed up. I don't know if Dow Loggins drew that one up. I don't know who got that one. But I believe there was a video that came out a little bit later that showed I believe San Francisco ran like a similar play like 15, 20 years ago or something like that. And they ran something like that was the exact same play. So I'm guessing that's probably where they got it from. But whoever decided to do that, flat out genius. You're more than likely not going to be able to run that ever again this year. Because, I mean, that's a play that, you practice probably about 100 times just to make sure you got the timing down. Got to make sure, if Miller's going to pitch it or not. I mean, there's no way anybody thought Trubisky was going to get that pitch. I thought Anthony Barr blew that play all the way up. I definitely thought they were running the ball to Howard. I had no clue he was about to give it to Miller. And then the fact that Miller tossed it to Trubisky on that, I mean, hey, hats off to, whoever dialed that one up, whether it was the 49ers or, wherever Loggins and them got that from. But hey, hats off to, man, that was one of the best plays we've seen in that game. And then, fortunately, the Vikings were able to take advantage of the no linebacker defense, man. We were just too depleted at linebacker. I mean, if we could at least have Trevathan or Freeman, at least just one of those guys, there's no way Jerick McKinnon goes off for what he did. McKinnon had 16 carries, 95 yards, and one of them was on the 58-yard touchdown run he got. So, I mean, that's where over half his yards came from. And, I mean, it was definitely it was an embarrassing one, man, just seeing that defense out there. I mean, majority of the game, they played a really good game. Unfortunately, man, just not having linebackers really screwed them over. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start, after we just gave a quick little wrap-up of the summer, go ahead and break down the game. So let's go ahead and start off with Mitchell Trubisky. Solid game. I mean, for the most part, he was under 50% in his completions. Not all of that was his fault. We definitely saw some plays where he kind of overthrew it. Looks like he was trying to fit into some tight windows where it may have been better off just chucking it out of bounds. We saw more drops. I believe Deion Sims alone dropped 2 passes. I mean, Deion Sims, you can't allow. You got a rookie quarterback. You got to be able to reel in some of them easier catches, man. I believe it was I want to say it was the first drive. I don't know if it was 3rd down or 2nd down or whatever it was. It was like 2nd down and 6 or something. He throws on the ball. I mean, he's got it right in his hands, and he just flat out drops it. I mean, you got to help out your rookie quarterbacks. You got to help out your quarterbacks anyway. If you're a tight end, you got to make those catches. But yeah, it was definitely a rough day for receiving core once again. Kendall Wright led all receivers with 4 receptions, 46 yards. I mean, it's ugly. It is extremely ugly at the receiving core at this moment. Trey McBride, we saw him make probably the catch of the game, and then just to have it get called back, I mean, that was just unfortunate. It looked like Trubisky, he's like, okay, Trubisky got a Trey McBride connection going on here. Maybe Trey McBride's going to take that next step and help us out. And then we don't see really McBride. I think he got one more catch for 18 yards, and we didn't see him the rest of the game. So, I mean, it's pretty much it for McBride. And then Yeah, I mean, you just look down the stat line. I mean, he only completed 12 passes. Now, the one incomplete pass he did make was one that he shouldn't have, man. It was the interception on the 2-minute drive, man. We had 2 minutes. We just need to go the length of the field to go ahead and it took us down there to go win the game. And yeah, we couldn't get it done. Vikings were able to get an interception. Harrison Smith, you got to give props off the dude. I mean, he's an All-Pro, Pro Bowl linebacker, or excuse me, not linebacker, safety. I mean, he's a ball hawk and he's a hard hitter. He gets down in that run. I mean, he does it all. He's exactly what you want in a safety. And this dude, I mean, he grinds. He grinds, and he made an absolute great play on the ball. Hall of Fame type play. I mean, if you're looking what Trubisky looked at, majority of the quarterbacks are going to throw that ball and try to fit it in there. But, man, it was a bait all the way. Harrison Smith knew exactly what he was doing. He saw Trubisky's eyes. He sat there and waited, and then he struck exactly when he needed to strike for that pick. And it lost the game for the Bears. Well, it was one of the things that lost them the game. Several other things that happened over the course of the game. But, yeah, I mean, veteran quarterbacks, I mean, some of them probably, there's a lot of veterans that would have probably made that throw. But, I mean, it's a learning experiment. It was definitely better than what we would have saw at Glennon. If Glennon would have been in this game, you can guarantee there would have been no shot at these guys winning this ball game at all. I love the mobility factor that Trubisky showed. You know, just getting out on the edge. His first completion, it was just an absolute beautiful strike to Kendall Wright. And oh my goodness, man, it was just a nice thing to see. The fact that, you know, because when I was watching Glennon, it just looked like, you really just wanted to punch somebody in the face. You wanted to punch a wall. You just wanted to punch something. Just watching Glennon go out there and just not look good. Especially when you knew you had Mitchell Trubisky just sitting there on the bench, and you know this guy's going to be the future. You know Glennon's not part of this future. Everybody knows that, and that's why it was time to make that switch. But, yeah, glad they made the switch. Trubisky, you got some learning to do, man. Hopefully, you know, you get things rolling. We got a big matchup against Baltimore Ravens this week, and you know, we're gonna have to make sure we try to run that ball still. The Ravens, you know, they're up and down. They're a pretty inconsistent team. I mean, that's definitely a team that we can beat. Whether they do it or not, I have no clue, due to the fact that the offense is so limited. Another solid game for Jordan Howard. He had 19 carries, 76 yards. I mean, Howard definitely was doing his job. He was averaging 4 a pop. Heck, I mean, shoot, he even had a few plays where he just lost yardage. And, well, he should have had over 100 yards because of the big run he had that got called back. But another thing is, I mean, they started stacking the 8-man box. And I have no clue what the play calling is going on with their run plays. Their run plays consist, like, it literally takes so long for the ball to get to Howard. I feel like it takes 2 to 3 seconds before the ball even gets to Jordan Howard on some of those stretch plays they run. Like, man, just get this man going in between. Now, look, I know they like running the zone stretch plays so they can eventually fake a bootleg and all that. But, man, it takes forever for that ball to get to Howard. And by the time he gets the ball, I mean, you already got a guy in the backfield now. Give credit. Look, Minnesota's got one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. Maybe second or third best. Because that Denver defense is still showing, hey, man, they still got some kick into them. So, but Minnesota, I mean, they got it locked down everywhere. They got a great D-line. They got great linebackers. And they got a great secondary. So, I mean, look, this is definitely going to be the best defense we probably play all year. Look, definitely going to be a good one. But, you know, still got the Ravens. Ravens aren't going to be no slouch. Then you got the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are playing some pretty good football lately. They just went up to Detroit and took a win out of there. And then you got the Saints defense. You ain't worry about the Saints really too much. Saints, they've had their issues up and down too. They're kind of like the Ravens, man. They're just a little bit inconsistent with how their play has been going. But one thing I do want to go ahead and discredit people who trying to blame Trubisky for that fumble. Now, Trubisky took blame for it, but, I mean, come on, you guys, man. Charles Leno got his butt whooped off the edge by Everson Griffin. I mean, there was no chip on him. Everson Griffin timed that snap beautifully and got around Leno like it was nothing. I mean, Trubisky said you got to get the ball out faster or have 2 hands on the ball. I'm not going to blame him for all that, man. I mean, because he had the ball for, like, the play, it looked like it ended in like 2 or 3 seconds. That's how fast the play was going. I mean, it didn't last long. I mean, who knows what Trubisky saw? I mean, he did give a pump fake. I will say that Trubisky did pump fake a little bit, and then he tried. I don't know if he was going for a second pump fake or he was finna rip it, but that second time through, it wound up costing him, and he wound up getting stripped. So, I mean, you can probably go either way, but Leno did nothing to help out on that play. We'll go ahead and start focusing on the defense a little bit before I'm going to get this over with, man. We're already up around 15 minutes. And defense, man, solid game. Once again, I believe they held the Vikings to 3, maybe 4 straight 3-and-outs. Pat O'Donnell, let me give you some credit too, man. You did a great job in this one, man. You did a great job pinning them deep. And then you kind of got away from it, man. You started punting it to the guy. I felt like he should have kept going, pinning him towards the sideline. Gruden talked about how great of a return guy this guy is. I mean, he said he had like 5 returns for touchdowns in his career, and I just felt like, hey, man, keep doing it, man. Just keep putting away from him. You were doing that early, and then he just kind of stopped. And then O'Donnell, my goodness, man, he had the touchdown pass too to Benny Cunningham. I mean, we already spoke on that earlier, but hey, give O'Donnell some credit. I just thought, man, Cunningham was just gonna drop the ball or something, man. You just knew the Bears, man. They don't get these plays, man. They never get these plays to work. Yeah, it just happened to work out in our favor. Cunningham was able to take it for a 38-yard touchdown. So that was definitely nice for us. But like I said, you can't run the two trick plays they ran in this game, the fake punt and the 2-point conversion. Probably not going to be able to run that anymore this year. And if you do, I mean, if you're able to catch another team napping, then that's that team's fault. But anyway, defense, I definitely thought defense played well. Secondary, they did a pretty good job when Bradford was in there. So was the pass rush, but you got to think Bradford shouldn't have been in that game from the get-go. Bradford was 5 for 11 with 36 passing yards. I mean, dude should have not been playing that game. He definitely looks like he just might. It might be better for the Vikings to stick with Case Keenum to play the rest of this season, because Bradford was overthrowing guys early. He just was missing. He was making passes that he typically. I mean, Bradford's definitely a smart, accurate passer for the most part. He was making some plays that he looked like he was trying too much. And yeah. I mean, it just looked like he was trying too much. Defense was getting home on him. Really, they sacked him 4 times in that first half alone. So, I mean, they were definitely getting some solid pressure up front. And unfortunately, they just weren't able to do that with when it came to Case Keenum. They didn't get to him at all. Leonard Floyd had 2 sacks. The big one was the one in the first quarter. They took a clock, and Sam Bradford, he had the ball for like 5.5 seconds. No clue what Bradford was thinking on that play. Well, he just said, yeah, I'm just going to keep looking. Yeah, somebody's going to get open. Somebody's going to get open. And here goes Leonard Floyd coming right off that edge, coming in there, got the safety. He was able to wrap him up, made it a 2-0 game for the longest. This had 2-0 for a good little while. I don't remember when Minnesota got their field goal to take a 3-2 lead, but it was 3-2 at halftime. I mean, come on, the defense was balling out. Defense was balling out until, they made their quarterback switch. So, unfortunately for us, that wound up losing this game, man. I knew the moment they put in Case Keenum, this game was about to turn around into Minnesota's favor. And they wound up doing that. Then Timu got hurt, and things just went bad after that. But I do give credit, man. Secondary did a pretty good job for the most part of the game. Our problem is, why can't any of these Bears defenses stop a screen pass or a flat route from going probably 10 or 15 plus yards? I mean, they ran one screen pass earlier to, I believe it was McKinnon. McKinnon caught it. He went like 34 yards on maybe not that far, but he ran like a good 15, 20 yards on like a 3rd down and 18 or something. And wound it up, he darn near picked it up. I mean, I get they were playing way back, but it's the fact that these little dump downs, and then the Bears always get gashed. Kyle Rudolph is one of these guys that just, he feasts on these little flat routes that get it to him. He gets 2 yards, and then boom, he cuts it upfield. He's got another 8 yards. It's just like there's never anybody there to stop these flat routes. It kills this team, man, because it just lets teams move the sticks at will for the most part. But yeah, Jared McKinnon, he was definitely one of their better players along with Case Keenum. But yeah, like I said, they did a great job shutting down the receivers. It was McKinnon and Rudolph that pretty much killed in this whole game. You have Stefan Diggs, who's been going off since he's gotten in the league against the Bears. He's been going off against almost everybody. You held him to 1 catch. He did get hurt, but you held him to 1 catch. He wasn't doing anything when he was in there with Bradford, and then when he did come back after he got hurt, I don't know if he was limping at all or whatever his injury was, but he didn't do anything against us. And I mean, they pretty much had him locked up. I mean, Thielen, he had a solid game. He had 5 catches for 34 yards. I mean, we'll take that any day of the week. I mean, it's still the same secondary that held Julio Jones to like 6 catches. I believe he only had maybe 64 yards or something like that, or under, or maybe a little bit less than that. I mean, but still, they've been holding most of these guys. Besides, I believe Antonio Brown. I think Mike Evans may have went off a little bit. But besides Antonio Brown, they're not just giving up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards to these receivers. I mean, the defense, for the most part, has definitely been the most improved look on this team throughout. Like I said, they got 4 sacks on the day. But I mean, once again, it just wasn't. The offense just doesn't have enough firepower to win this game. And yeah, I mean, injuries also are a big factor. Glad to see that, you know, Timu will be okay. We didn't suffer any other significant injuries throughout this game. Cal Long did go out. I was like, oh boy, no, not Cal Long. Please don't tell me that's that ankle injury. He was able to come back. I believe he bounced back like that next play. He went out for a play or two, and he came right back in, and, you know, he finished out the game. So I'm sure they'll be monitoring that. Another thing, yeah, we did lose Willie Young for the rest of the year. Officially was placed on IR today. And, oh, man, the injuries are just piling up. Not just this team, but, man, it's just piling up throughout the entire NFL. I mean, it makes no sense. The Giants lost 4 receivers yesterday, or, excuse me, on Sunday. They lost Brandon Marshall, Odell Beckham, and they also lost, I believe it was, they lost Sterling Shepard, and they lost their 4th receiver as well. I believe Dwayne Harris. Well, I mean, my goodness, like, the NFL is just, it's just ridicule with injuries. And then Houston lost J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless on the exact same drive. So, I mean, it's just crazy with the injuries in the NFL lately. And I don't know what they have to do to, you know, calm these injuries down. But right now it's making the game very unenjoyable. I mean, you can't just sit here and watch these games and say, yeah, I'm entertained when I'm watching, you know, guys like Deontay Thompson and Josh Bellamy catch footballs, when I know Cameron Meredith. Now, I'm not saying Cameron Meredith, you know, a number 1 receiver or anything, but I mean, he's definitely the best receiver the Bears got going for him at the moment. But yeah, man, one quick last little final message. You know, it's kind of going on a little bit longer than what I was hoping for, but I mean, I got to put a lot of this blame on Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace has not done anything to help this team, like, on offense. I mean, he got rid of Alshon. He started off getting rid of Brandon Marshall. I mean, I get it. You know, he was a locker room case. So I understand if you wanted to get rid of Brandon Marshall. I completely get it. Problem is, you had nobody to replace him. You have to make sure Kevin White is good enough to replace Brandon Marshall. You have to make sure Kevin White and Cameron Meredith are good enough and are going to stay healthy enough to be able to replace Alshon Jeffrey. You have to know that for a fact. Problem is, you didn't know that. You spent $18 million on Mike Glennon. That was a waste. You spent, I believe, another $11 million or whatever the heck you paid Marcus Wheaton. I don't even think Wheaton got a catch in this game. The catch he did have got called back. Or he may have had 1 catch, I believe. He did have 1 catch early, and I believe he got called for a push-off or whatever happened. But yeah, I mean, you're paying all these guys money. And Alshon walked out of here, and he took, I believe he took $9 million guaranteed to go play over there in Philly. And now he's in a winning culture. He's out there balling out. Looks like he's going to stay. I mean, well, it's only, what, week 5? Yeah. So we don't know if he's going to stay healthy or not. But still, for all we know, he's back on the PEDs again. But still, you didn't establish anything, Ryan Pace, to say, yes, this team's going to be A-OK going forward without Alshon, without Brandon Marshall. You didn't do anything in these drafts, in any other. Now, there might not have been any free agents that have been worth, you know, picking up. But he did not do anything to establish a good receiving core for any quarterback to walk up in it. Aaron Rodgers couldn't win with any of these guys. I mean, these guys are freaking special teamers, and you're expecting them to contribute night in and night out. Only person who isn't a special teamer is Kendall Wright, and Kendall Wright is a slot guy. And he's your number 1 receiver at the moment. And I have no clue where Adam Shaheen is. Shaheen has not done a lick except for catch that 1 touchdown pass. All we see Shaheen doing is blocking. I mean, he's your 2nd round pick in the 2017 draft. And he has not done anything but catch that 1 pass. I just don't get it. I mean, bring up Trey McBride. McBride looked like he was going to have a solid game. But he had a solid start to the game. You know, he had the big catch. Once again, like I said, he got called back. Then he had another catch. Got 18 yards on it. But, I mean, there's nobody on this receiving core that you just sit there and say, yes, I can trust that guy. He's going to go make up the going to make the great catch that I need to win a game. He's going to be that guy that puts me over the edge. There's nobody on that team. You're not going to rely on Zach Miller to make that catch. You're not going to rely on Kendall Wright. You're not going to dump the ball down to Tariq Cohen and hope he makes 10 guys miss and takes it all the way to the end zone every play. You can't rely on that. But yeah, a lot of fault. Ryan Pace, you've done a bad job building this offense. Defense has done a great, solid job, under Fangio. I mean, he's got some decent players in here. But for the most part, offensively, I mean, your best weapon is Jordan Howard, and can't get him going every single game when they got an 8-man box. Better hope Trubisky pans out, Pace. Because right now, that seat is getting a little bit warm, and John Fox, you best believe that seat is on fire already, dog. Anyway, you guys, I want to say thank you all very much for listening. Sorry about the long kind of little podcast. Wish I could go a little bit longer, actually, on these, but, it is what it is. But anyway, man, we're going to finish up this one. It's another loss, 1-4 on the season. We're going to be taking on the Baltimore Ravens. We're heading up to Maryland for this one. And we got 3 more games before we head into probably a much-needed bye week, man. They definitely need this bye week coming up. Anyway, 3 more games. Got Baltimore. We got the Panthers, and then we got the Saints. Oh, boy, man. Here we go, man. We got 3 games, man. Hopefully we get to 500. I'll see you guys after the next game. Sorry for the wait on this one once again. But we'll make sure, we get these videos back up, man. The voice finally starting to come back. You guys can tell I'm not coughing in this video. So, anyway, let's get back to it. Thank you guys for listening once again. I'm out till next time. Peace.